going to take your English as well as geography class. Let me first take your English class. Take out your Radiant Reader book, Chapter 16, Dara the Good. Let me tell you the story in gist. Once upon a time in Iran, there lived a shepherd named Dara who couldn't read or write, but he had practical wisdom. People come to him during their troubles. He helped them with sympathy and care. With the passage of time, his name and fame spread far and wide. But Dara never forgot his life as a shepherd. He wore old sheepskin cloth over his ordinary clothes to remind him of his poverty and occupation. Soon the king heard about Dara's wisdom. During that time, the king was facing some evil deed. He wanted a wise and a good person to save his kingdom from disaster. After meeting Dara, the king was so impressed with his sincerity and common sense that he made Dara the governor of a small province. After much hesitation, Dara accepted the king's offer, but he was not happy with his new post, though the people were overjoyed to get him as a governor. Though he rode on horse but took simple meal and wore governor's cloak over his ordinary cloth, he sympathetically listened to the villagers and tried to solve them. The people became self-sufficient. Dara carried an iron chest even during his official rounds and took special care of it. So people started believing that the chest contained gold and silver, and he was making himself rich at the expense of the poor. And soon Dara lost confidence of the people. When the king heard about it, he himself went to find out the truth. As soon as king approached, Dara went forward to receive him. A servant followed him with the iron chest. The king, seeing the iron chest, became furious and ordered to open it. Dara quietly opened it, took out the old worn-out sheepskin cloth, saying it was his only treasure. The king felt ashamed but happy to find such an honest and faithful man, and so made him the governor of a large province. And with this, I am ending my English class. Now, let me start your geography class. Take out your geography book, Chapter 6, Energy and Power Resources. Today's topic is hydroelectric energy. It is a renewable source obtained from fast-flowing water. Stored water from the dams are released from a great height that rotates the turbine blades and turns the generator to produce electricity. Hydropower are generated from waterfalls. The natural forces of tidal waves and running river water are used to generate electricity. China, the largest producer of hydroelectric power, is followed by Canada, Brazil and USA. India has several hydroelectric projects. Share of non-renewable and renewable resources. Present world uses a wide variety of energy resources to meet its demand. For example, coal accounts for 40% of electricity. Fossil fuels accounts for nearly 67% of its total production, and only 21% of energy is consumed from renewable sources or nature. Distribution and consumption of energy. The consumption of energy is not evenly distributed throughout the world. Developed countries like USA, having less than 5% of world's population, consumes 25% of world's energy. On the other hand, developing countries like China, India and Brazil, having more than 80% of world's population, consume 30% of world energy. Though the energy consumption is rapidly growing with economic growth and population, China and India uses coal and oil to generate electricity. Energy used in India. Electricity. India is the top consumer and producer of electricity in the world, yet most people live without electricity and several more live with little and unreliable source of electricity. There are two reasons for it. Number one, high cost of electricity enables the poor living in rural and urban area to enjoy its benefit. Number two, the distribution and transmission of electricity is a challenging task in many parts of India. Other sources of energy, firewood and biomass, are renewable in nature. Rural Indian households rely on such fuels, but only long-term use of such resources has a negative impact on health and environment. Majority urban households rely on LPG for cooking. Conserving energy. The demand for energy is constantly increasing. Most of the energy is derived from non-renewable source, which results in global warming and increase in population. As these sources get depleted, so it is necessary to conserve energy. Ways to conserve energy. Energy conservation can be done in the following ways. Number 1. Use of public transport or bicycle instead of fossil fuel powered vehicle. Number 2. Energy saving technology should be introduced. Organizations and industries must prevent wastage by remaining updated and through proper planning. Number 3. Use CFL bulbs instead of incandescent bulbs. Though these bulbs cost more in the beginning, but they save money in the long run. Number 4. Switch off the fans and lights when not in use. Number 5. Traditional methods of building houses and planting trees around the houses reduces the need for air conditioning. Number 6. Renewable energy resources must be used. And with this, I am ending my today's class.